So Derek Law, hey, welcome back to Spatial Report.
Hey, nice to see you guys, and thanks for having me.
Oh, no, it's awesome to have you here because we know you got a lot of information to share. We'll do that in a couple of seconds. But first, give us a little explanation about what you do at Esri.
Sure. So I work at Esri Inc. in Redlands, California, and I work as a product manager with the ArcGIS Monitor team. And my job really is to talk to customers, collect feedback about Monitor, and really try to get information and feedback to make the product better.
Lovely, lovely. So, Derek, what exactly is ArcGIS Monitor?
Sure. So ArcGIS Monitor is an extension product to ArcGIS Enterprise. So if you're an administrator or a manager of ArcGIS Enterprise, it is a product for you. What it does is it collects metrics on the system health, performance, and usage of ArcGIS Enterprise to help you optimize your enterprise deployment. I always tell new users, think of it like using the car analogy. Let's say you have a vehicle or a truck or an EV, and you want to make sure it's performing really well and extend its longevity. Well, you would take it into the garage for service, right? You would apply a tune-up, apply service maintenance, rotate the tires. Well, that's what Monitor does for your ArcGIS Enterprise deployment.
Right, and that makes a lot of sense to be able to have that maintenance component to enterprise because it is an ongoing machine. So, yeah, I could definitely see the benefits of that. So, maybe get into more detail about what some of the value is that the monitor brings to our users.
Sure. At the end of the day, when you use ArcGIS Monitor with ArcGIS Enterprise, you are optimizing the system, so you're proactively managing it. In other words, Monitor gives you tools to set up alerts, so you can address tiny issues before they escalate into bigger problems. And this is called proactive management. And by doing this, hopefully, if you administer your site effectively, you will minimize or reduce system downtime. And at the end of the day, this is great because as long as your system is performing, then it's not down. You're ultimately saving on operational costs. So it helps you save money on operational costs.
Amazing. Everyone should be doing that proactive management there. So, we know that there's a new release coming up. What are some of the major enhancements?
Yeah, super excited to talk about ArcGIS Monitor 2024.1. It's coming out at the end of January 2025. And it's got some pretty exciting features. The big one, of course, is we will now support registering and collecting metrics on the ArcGIS relational data store. And this is huge because really this completes the stack, right? We collect metrics on Enterprise Portal, ArcGIS server sites, and now the ArcGIS relational data store. Um, the other thing, of course, is we have another enhancement where many customers have asked for the ability to export an analysis view. So that's the reporting in Monitor. You can export it out as a JSON file and then import it into a different Monitor instance. This will be useful. So as the team creates some analysis views for reports, we'll be able to make them available to share with our customers. And the other enhancement, I guess, is we have two new element types. One is called table, one is called rich text. And as the name would imply, the first element you can show tabular data inside an analysis view. And for the other one, you can kind of input more text content into your analysis views to make them more useful or readable for end users.
Yeah, those are really big enhancements, especially the registration of to the data store. That sounds like something that's going to be very significant for our users. So
Yeah.
that's a huge development, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that. I'm sure there's some other sort of enhancements that are kind of in the back of your mind. So, do you have any additional enhancements you'd like to mention?
There's only a few others. One is we now support this check service custom observer. Users can turn this on for registered web services. And basically, you can do some testing, right? You can send an HTTP request to the service and collect information on like the response time, the response size, and also, just check if it's up and running. We've also added some enhancements to email notifications. So when an alert triggers, then you fire a notification email. We want to make it more informative. So if you're an admin checking on your phone, it'll tell you like, hey, what's the cause of the event trigger to kind of give you more information. And then the other big news is that starting with ArcGIS Enterprise 11.4, you can now take the web adapter and register it with ArcGIS Monitor 2024.1. What this means is if you want to have a reverse proxy deployment, you can set it up with the ArcGIS Web Adapter 11.4 so that your users to ArcGIS Monitor can, log into the web adapter first and then get redirected to ArcGIS Monitor. This is really basically for, more secure deployments.
Those are some great updates. I'm very excited for them. So, before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to share or promote?
I would encourage customers who are interested in learning about ArcGIS Monitor to go to Esri.com and go to the product page. We have maybe a dozen or so customer success stories, ArcGIS-based deployments of ArcGIS Enterprise to mid-size like utilities, gas, electric, water, to large global enterprise deployments. And the last thing I want to promote is we have our second ArcGIS Monitor user group meeting scheduled for March 5th. So I encourage you to register and watch the session where we'll have two customers, Forsyth County in Georgia and the state of Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. And they're going to talk about, these are real customers, they'll talk about how they are using Monitor to support their workflows and how it's made their lives easier as they manage their ArcGIS Enterprise deployments.
So, thanks so much for joining us, Derek. We're really happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me and allowing me to talk about ArcGIS Monitor. If you're an enterprise customer, I encourage you to use it. It's a good best practice, especially in light of the fact that last year we released the Well Architected Framework site, and observability is a key piece of managing your enterprise GIS, and of course ArcGIS Monitor supports that observability requirement.
That's great. That's great. Thanks, Derek. So that was Derek Law. He works for the ArcGIS Monitor team with Esri Inc., and he joined us from Redlands, California.